Anderson was going back with the flight of the ball, but it comes off Swan from the Buffaloes, and it will be a throw-in directly in front of the Darwin Buffaloes interchange.
Great courage from all players there, Buffaloes and the Palmerston Magpies. Terrific stuff. Boundary throw-in now. Dennis wins it down. Palmerston can't handle initially, but an errant handball comes the way of Emery. Emery, the long bomb down inside attacking 50. The mark down there taken by Antonio James for the double blues, or is Bradley Stokes? In fact, Bradley Stokes, number 10 there, swings it inboard here for Cameron Stokes. Now to Antonio James. So 3 kicks still at right half back here for the Darwin Buffaloes. Antonio James now, the long kick. Target will be Joe Anderson. Crashing in there is Dennis. Couldn't handle. Paul can. Got a handball to Williams. Good handball to Joe Anderson. Little bit of time, little bit of space up towards Jared Stokes. Second grabber. Couldn't grab hold of it. Brawman got a fingernail in there. Nigel Lockyer Jr. loses the handle of the footy. Liam McDonald comes in to mop up and does well. Ball goes to Riley Stone. Kicks out wide. Looks for the lead of Caden Holt-Tubbs. Takes the mark. Right half forward. Close to the boundary. Swings a nice pass in towards a teammate there in Matthew Chester, but can't take the mark, and the Blues are away again. Antonio James takes it and goes for a run inside defensive 50. And
he spots up Joe Anderson, the younger brother, but Dennis was behind him. It's fisted away, now in advantage of Palmerston Magpies. A swirling effort there. Brawman gets a pass to Dennis. He is harassed, gets it, ugly handball away. Palmerston Magpies with the ugly kick up and under, and it's picked off in the end by the Darwin Buffaloes player in Aaron Stokes. He takes his time. He's on the defensive side of the centre square, looking for Joe Anderson on the lead, and finds him. Honours him with a great kick, and he was just in front of Lockyer Jr. He's on the broadcast wing, directly in front of the Buffaloes interchange. Kick down forward, going against Palmerston. 50 metres here, and it's going against the Palmerston player in Gordon. He's still chatting with the umpire as he goes down, and that was a late hit on Eldridge behind the ball. Joe Anderson looks for and can't pick up Cohan. Still in advantage of the Darwin Buffaloes. Brawman is there, but he's tackled beautifully by Baird, and he's tackled behind for a point. So great effort there from the Darwin Buffaloes, and they are now 8-10-58. Palmerston 7-5-47.
Dylan Gordon took the mark. As the ball was brought into play, goes with his left foot and finds Timms. Palmerston on the move here, got a numerical advantage. Timms' kick wasn't to the advantage of his teammate in Emery. Emery fighting hard for the footy. I thought he might have been taken high. The umpires called that. Emery with the long kick now to the advantage of Keaton Holt-Tubbs. Can't take the mark. Cameron Stokes goes to ground. Holt-Tubbs minds the footy well. Ball socket to the advantage now of Cameron Stokes. Gets it back to Clark. Jalen Clark with a good handball. Away here to Munungur. Long kick up centre wing. No mark taken. Buffaloes in control initially, but a throw against Seaton Kernoff there. And the free kick will come back to the Palmerston Magpies. Little chip. Mark taken. Mark taken now by Luke Roberts. So Palmerston just needing to steady here. 47 plays 59. Darwin in the lead. 12.5 gone in this third quarter. Long kick, and that's a poor kick. Mark taken down there by Jonas Nicky, who relieves the pressure in the left back pocket for the double blues.
That was a nothing kick. Yeah, it wasn't to anybody that was mismatched. It wasn't anywhere towards a dangerous spot at goal. Just a nothing kick and turned over.
So Darwin Buffaloes on the outer side of the wing. A little chip over. Can't find the opponent in Murugur. And it's the Darwin Buffaloes now who defensively have to look and try and get it off Palmerston, who are going down the right side through Brawman. Brawman thumping kick, and it's just gone over the head of, that was Lonigan. But it was great defensive pressure too from Nicky, who's had a pretty good quarter at the moment.
Yeah, but just twice they've just gone to that the light post there or near the Wanderers clubhouse there when they need to go a little bit more direct. We might need to run a compass down to the Palmerston bench.
Well, up in the ruck, it's Emery for Palmerston, and it's easily won down in the end by Clark, the ruckman for the Darwin Buffaloes. So they're going to go through the middle of the park. Eldridge gives it off to Clark. Clark looks up, and he finds the lead of Baird. Baird drops it, but it's picked up in the end. A great pick up there from Aaron Stokes. Gives it off to Jared Stokes. Jared tries to go and find Culhane, and Culhane at the back is able to get a dribble, and he dribbles it through from the left pocket, and he loves it. Culhane the back. Wharf was in front of him for Palmerston, and Culhane picks up his 6th goal of the night, and he is standing up and taking really the place of Adam Sambono at the moment.
Absolutely great effort there by Culhane, and a little bit fortuitous there. I think Dylan Gordon might have just misread the ball in flight and just cleared him, and as you said, it popped out of Wharf's hands, and Culhane was just able to work him off the line and kick a check side along the ground through. So terrific forward pressure there by Culhane. Unfortunate there for Palmerston. And just looking around, you know, the body language isn't great there for the Palmerston Magpies. You know, the sort of heads down and stretching out. So hopefully they can get a bit of momentum back.
William Clark from the ruck contest couldn't get anywhere near the footy, but Chris Williams does for Darwin. Tumbles a punt inside 50, knocked further forward by Aaron Stokes. This time Wharf gathers, he's tackled. Well done, the double blues. The pressure's on here. And the ball knocked forward. Eldridge gathers, handball towards Culhane, knocked through by Broderick Church. And the players appealing for a deliberate, but if you're within the goal scare area, everything's covered. It's okay, provided you're under pressure. And that he was. So Broderick Church now to bring the ball back into play. Goes to the safe hands of Dennis. Takes the mark. Loses the footy momentarily, picks it up and takes control again. Riley Stone calling for a lead in the middle of the ground. Now Dennis has got himself cramped. Kicks long down centre wing. Nicky almost takes the mark. Cameron Stokes takes possession. Kicks quickly. Joe Anderson underneath it. Takes the mark. Dylan Gordon on the mark. That's been a good contest. Dylan Gordon's played well this afternoon. Let himself down a moment ago, giving away a 50-metre penalty. Joe Anderson playing as a forward. Kicks long. Baird had the 2 hands to it. Should have taken the mark. Dropped it. Church gathers. Gets the handball away. And no, he doesn't, says the umpire. In fact, yes, he does. And after he handballed, he was taken in a tackle. So free kick awarded. And he goes across the goal face to Lonergan in the left back pocket.
Left back pocket for Lonergan. 19-point lead here for the Magpies. Biggest lead of the match. And a juggling mark there is taken by Chester. Oh, and Darwin Buffaloes player is down injured after that contest, but we'll stay with the play, Brenton. I'll get you to have a look at that. Chester, big up and under down the broadcast wing, and a great spoil behind from Seaton Kernoth, and the ball comes out directly in front of our broadcast area. There'll be a throw-in. Dennis just coming to his position.
Might be Antonio James who's down on the ground.
Bit of concern with him at the moment. I'll get you to keep an eye on that. Dennis at the front of the ruck, and they're going to ask it to be thrown in again. Didn't go far enough, and so Clark and Dennis will reset. Broadcast wing, 19-point margin is the lead for the Darwin Buffaloes. Dennis on the second, third grab, but it was Clark who grabbed it out. Still able to be picked up here by Palmerston. And the kick down field from Lockyer Jr., but it was dropped in the end by Lorna. And it's going to go in, trying to find Holtz Tubbs, but at the back is Cameron Stokes, and he'll kick it further afield out of the defensive 50 to Bradley Stokes. They're on the right side. Bradley Stokes chips up and finds another free player in Patrick Bowles. They need to pick up their players at the moment, Palmerston Magpies. Bowles indicates he's going to go long down the wing, and he's looking for Munagor. And a great contest there. Munagor up against Perry. And the ball is seen over the boundary line directly in front of the Buffaloes interchange.
Boundary throw in. Ball tossed up high. Paul in front of Ashley. Belted forward, only to the advantage here of Jalen Clark. Swung around and tackle, lost the footy. No call by the umpire. Emery caught close to the boundary line. Held up there by Bradley Stokes. And Jalen Clark injured after that contest. We see Antonio James coming from the ground limping with what appears to be a left ankle injury. So a boundary throw in here about 70 around from goal. Bit of confusion again here with what's happening between the umpires. In fact, it's going to be a ball up, not a boundary throw in, after Emery was caught in the tackle close to the boundary line. Neither ruckman really went for it. I think they were a bit uncomfortable close to the boundary line, did want a boundary throw in, so they made sure it went over so that could happen. Bit of confusion. 18 and a half gone in this third quarter. 47 plays 66. Darwin in the lead. Shallow throw in again. Paul read it best, but the umpire is going to call for that to occur again. Players need to adjust here.
Palmerston need a lift generally across the ground, but Nigel Lockyer Jr., for me, he was the one that was the difference early, and not sure how we can, how Palmerston can try and get him around the football a bit more, but every time he touches it, he uses it well, and they just need something, the Magpies.
David Paul wins that contest. Here comes something. Nigel Lockyer Jr. took the footy away from the contest, got it there to Brawman. He handballed away to a teammate who was wrapped up in a ball and all tackle, I thought, but the free kick has been paid for the tackle. In fact, it's for a throw, so that will go to the Darwin Buffaloes. And Travis Eldridge to take that with the free kick going there against Matthew Chester for the Palmerston Magpies.
Inside their defensive 50, Eldridge will cross the 50-metre paint. He'll come down the broadcast wing, big up and under, and in the back is Ashley for Palmerston, so it's coming out through Brawman. Brawman gives it off to Perry. Perry goes inboard. A mark that should have been taken was dropped by Roberts, so now he's being harassed. Perry came and helped out, and it's Palmerston. And it is a throw there from Timms.
Clearly handballed it away. I think the umpire was making his decision as the handball was being given.
So ball in the middle, and it's the Darwin Buffaloes that are going to go out through the left through Aaron Stokes. Ooh, and it was marked there by Eldridge.
Is Cam Stokes sneaking forward?
He's going to play on quickly to Cam Stokes, you're right, in the left forward pocket. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, heavily strapped left leg.
Yeah,
has he got the difference?
Strapping and far lap at the moment, Cameron Stokes, but great run from half back, just a bit of run behind the football. Timmy Eldridge did the same thing, able to get onto it. I think he played, for the free kick or the 50, didn't get it, but great work by Cam Stokes to work from half back. It's almost a 150-metre run for him. Experienced
player, heavily strapped left leg. He'll come onto that. No, he's going to go for the right, and it's a big, booming 40-metre kick. He likes it, and he gets a high five. His players come from everywhere. He's come from the defensive 50, as you heard from Brenton Toy, ran down the left, and he has kicked his first for the night, and that extends Darwin's lead, 9-12-66 to Palmerston, 7-5-45.
You'd have to think that this might start to spell the beginning of the end for the Palmerston Magpies. Buffaloes, a lot more run in their legs, a lot more composure. They're winning a lot more through their midfield. Stokes, Williams, Eldridge has injected himself into the game now. They've got some great speed out there with Swan and Munungur, and Aaron Stokes, the young fella, he's popped up as well. So plenty of depth across the field there for Buffaloes. Palmerston, rotation down. They've got a few guys coming down with cramp. Can't argue with Matty Dennis's effort all day, but they've won hit-outs but lost clearances that we're about to see again.
Same again, Matty Dennis winning the hit-out there. Travis Eldridge with a wonderful kick-out to a teammate there in Seaton Kernoth. Couldn't take the mark. Michaelis McMaster's just back onto the ground. Steals the ball away from a Joe Anderson handball. Socket off the ground here by Lee Munungur. Players calling for a deliberate. Surely not. And it'll be a boundary throw in. 25 metres around, right forward pocket, favouring the double blues. Timothy Eldridge? Timothy Eldridge, I should be saying. Here I am saying Travis Eldridge, my apologies. So Tim Eldridge, well done to him. Lee Munungur with that soccer off the ground, the boundary throw in now. Matt Dennis being held off the footy, still won the boundary throw in down. Dylan Gordon lucky not to get an in-the-back decision against him. Matty Dennis, the ball comes to him yet again like a magnet. Paul throwing himself around. Dion Gordon in there again. Dylan Gordon, I should say. McMasters. Timms now with the handball. Out towards Emery. Just hasn't been able to get into the game. Charging out at Bradley Stokes. Getting a handball away to Munungur on the right boot. Good kick up towards Joe Anderson. Off his chest. Jalen Clark with the snap at goal. Curls and curls and curls, and just not enough from 45 metres out through to the right for another behind. They move on to 10-13. 73 the Darwin Buffaloes. Palmerston 7-5, 47. 23 and a half gone in this third quarter.
So the ball brought back into play. It's a short kick that doesn't even make the distance, and Brock is very much under pressure, but it's Cox that will pick up the ball, take a bounce and bring it out through the middle. His ugly kick to Roberts is picked up off the deck. Cox handballs to Brawman. He's not able to pick it up. Now it's the Darwin Buffaloes that hand it over, and there is a free kick as there is a trip, and that's going to the way of Lonigan. There's a player down on the ground. A real concern. Keep an eye on that. He's just starting to move now, but the ball's inside the forward 50 for the Palmerston Magpies, and not able to take it cleanly, and coming around on the right up towards the goal, and it is beautifully shepherded through. That was great work there from the man inside the square, because he has shepherded the player out. So the Darwin Buffaloes player in James was held out of the way, and the goal there was going to Kyle Emery.
Yep. But the player on the line, I'm just trying to pick that up. I'm not sure if it was McDonald, but there was some great shepherding work done on the line by the Palmerston Magpies, and that's what we know Kyle Emery for. Like, he's a sharpshooter. If he gets that footy anywhere between 30 and 55 out, there's a fair chance he's going to put it straight through the middle. So much needed goal there, brings Palmerston back to within 20 points. But all they need to do now is back it up with another one and make sure Buffs don't get theirs.
So just counting now, aren't they?
The count's
Dom,
on again.
666.
Yep.
Quick, someone in the middle. That's the obvious one, isn't it? You've got a ruckman and you need 3 there.
Yeah, I'm always surprised. How can you not have your 4 in the middle? That's the most obvious one. Ball up in the middle, one down by Paul, gets it straight to Williams, who got it to Eldridge. Kick away was smothered. Eldridge back in there again. Sockers off the ground. That's smothered there for the Palmerston Magpies by Lorna. Now the Maggies go forward. And the siren sounds as Cameron Stokes just puts a big hit there on Jack Brawman. The players come in, but the umpires will soon separate them, I think. This has been a tough, hard-fought contest between both teams, and at three-quarter time, it is the Double Blues in the lead. 10-13, 73, leading the Palmerston Magpies 8-5, 53. The moon's rising, so too are the stocks of the Darwin Buffaloes. They lead by 20 points at three-quarter time.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel wherever you feel, together real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice, Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport Concept Store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Forward. You're going to play on quickly to Cam Stokes, you're right, in the left forward pocket.
So this is the last highlight, then that ident, and you can just pick it up off the back.
Cheers.
Stokes to work from half back. It's almost a 150 metre run for him.
And it's a big
I'll put you live now.
kick. He likes it, and he gets a high five. His players come from everywhere, and he has kicked his first for the night, and that extends Darwin's lead.
You're listening to the NTFL.
All right, stand by.
Live on ABC Digital Radio and streaming on the ABC Listen app.
And we are at Marara Oval, number one. Big quarter coming up for the Palmerston Magpies. They trailed by 20 points over the Darwin Buffaloes. At quarter time, it was the Buffs by 4. Magpies had a 1-point lead at Hearts time, and the Darwin Buffaloes had a big three-quarter, kicking 5 goals as they make their way back to their positions. Dominic McCormack quickly with the goal kickers.
Thanks very much for the Darwin Buffaloes in the lead. Braden Culhane, of course, 6 goals. Very even performance from him. 3 in the first, 3 in the third. Very well done. Singles then to Tim Eldridge, Cameron Stokes, Aaron Stokes and William Baird. I want to see William Baird kick another goal. That's what I want to see. Palmerston Magpies, 2 goals to Jack Brawman, 2 goals to Nigel Lockyer Jr., singles to Emery, Caden Holt-Tubbs, Matthew Dennis and Ricky Ashley.
So we are getting underway shortly here. Final term coming up. Shannon Byrne in commentary, Dominic McCormack, and the Tiwi assistant coach at the moment, Tiwi Bombers, is Brenton Toy. But Dominic has the first bounce.
Matthew Dennis gets the ball out of the middle, gets a quick kick out, smothered off his boot. Ball comes to Blake Lorna. High up and under goes to centre wing. Mark dropped there by Thomas Swan for the Double Blues. Kyle Emery takes possession. They need to see more of that, the Palmerston Magpies. Up towards the right forward pocket, and there'll be a front-on contact free kick. That's paid to the Palmerston Magpies. Ball delivered beautifully, and that goes to Nigel Lockyer Jr. Well done there to Ian Malera. He won the free kick, used the ball well, and it goes to Nigel Lockyer Jr., who, as I just mentioned a moment ago, has kicked 2 goals in the first quarter of this game and has an opportunity to get the Palmerston Magpies within 14. Left of centre, kicks from 35, kicks truly, they're back within 14.
Lovely looking kick there by Nigel Lockyer Jr. And we did say that during the third quarter, that if Palmerston are going to be any chance to get back into the game, he's one that certainly needs to get his hands on the football. But Yeah, probably, you know, Matty Dennis has just taken it on himself. He's going to do the ruck work and the clearance work, but kicked it into his own opponent. But they moved the ball forward there, and as you said, Malera, just a nice square up inboard, and Nigel Lockyer Jr., easy lead, and what a lovely kick off the boot he's got. Terrific.
Beautiful off the left boot.
A lot of high fives around early too for the Magpies. They have got belief. Dennis just went over to Emery, got a high five. Emery ran down to Malaria when he kicked the ball inside. So they know that they now have a sniff. 14 points, the lead to Darwin Buffaloes. Dennis up against Clark. Clark wins it down for the Darwin Buffaloes, but Dennis is the man that kicks it off the ground up towards the forward 50 for them. Lockyer Jr. can't pick it up. He tries a second attempt, runs into one of the Stokes. Handball over the back from Clark, and the Darwin Buffaloes are trying to get an advantage down through the middle. Brawman for the Palmerston Magpies is brought down, and it's a great diving mark there from Joe Anderson, right on the pane of 50. Darwin Buffaloes in attack. Brawman, Joe Anderson goes to Baird, and Baird, I hope he hasn't done a hamstring, but he's cramping, so Baird has caught it directly in front, 40 metres out, dropped to the ground with no one around him. He's thrown the ball away, and it is Darwin weather taking effect here for Baird. Has he got the distance? Would you handball it off, Brenton, this far out?
Probably if I was Willie Baird. I'm sitting in the coach's box saying, give a handball off. I think the sniper at the top of the grandstand got him with that cramp.
So he's just walking now over the 50. Dennis is on the mark. He now stutters to 45, gets it on the right. It just won't have the distance, and it looks like it's been... No, it was goal. It's travelled. It looked like it was touched on the line, but that just crept like it did with Baird in his run-up. It crept over the line, and Palmerston weren't able to stop that goal. That was slow motion, and that's there by a metre.
I knew it was a goal when Dominic McCormack was doing handstands in the box, because we talked about it during the break. He said, I want to see Willie Baird get another goal. So terrific lead there by Willie Baird. Got very close to the man on the mark, and smart play to put big Matty Dennis, just that extra metre. They had to kick it higher above his head. But just cleared the line. So great goal there by the Darwin Buffaloes and to Willie Baird as well.
Gets that margin back out to 20. Great buffer there.
In the middle now, William Clark, who's competed very well at these ruck contests against Matt Dennis. Up he goes again high, wins it down, goes back in and gets his own footy. Quick kick out, no mark taken. Front and centre, Travis Eldridge got the handball away, almost taken away by Aaron Stokes. The ball being pushed forward. Luke Roberts gathers, gets it to Gordon for the Palmerston Magpies. They crash in, and a ball up will take place about 30 out in the corridor to the advantage of the Darwin Buffaloes. The ball tossed high, slapped away there by Darwin. Emery over the footy, gathers, pirouettes one way, then steps the other, comes back on the right boot, kicks towards the Morris Rioli grandstand wing. Up high was Lockyer Jr., got two hands to it, should have taken the mark and didn't. James for the Darwin Buffaloes gets it away to Nicky. That's a lovely kick to centre half forward. Finds Seaton Kernoth, drills a pass in, off hands. Chris Williams gathers, 25 out, blasts away, kicks their second for the quarter. Darwin 12-13, 85. Palmerston 9-5, 59. 4.5 gone in the last quarter.
Great work there by Isaac Seaton Kernoth. I think he's the son of Russell Kernoth and the nephew of Corey Kernoth that used to play at Buffaloes and Palmerston at some stage. But just again, Braden Colhane just presenting and Chris Williams getting the crumbs there. But I always thought it was going to be hard for Palmerston to get the ball out because the Darwin defence had pressed right up the ground. They'd outnumbered everybody forward in their forward half, and there were still two Palmy players sitting at the back. So as soon as it got to halfway, Buffaloes are able just to win the footy back, pump it straight back in for a repeat inside 50.
Well, it's a 26-point margin now for the Darwin Buffaloes. Ball up, and it's Clark again who wins it over Dennis, who has a slight height advantage. Clark kicked it off the ground, not able to be picked up by Elridge, and the ball is down on the ground. Dennis tried to pick it up. It fumbled out of his hands. There's about 10 players around the ball, and they will not let it get outside the centre square. It is the attacking side of the centre square for the Darwin Buffaloes, and we'll have a throw-up with Dennis and Clark on the edge on the left, and it's tapped back to Emery. Emery tries to run through the middle. Quick hands to Ashley. Ashley puts it inside the forward 50 for the Palmerston side, but it only goes as far as Jalen Clark. Quick kick out to the left. He gets it to James. James looks down and finds Joe Anderson, who's free. He tried to play on quickly, now wheels around onto the right, and a big kick down, and it's dropped there in the end by Aaron Stokes. He's down on the ground. Elridge kicks it, ugly wobbly ball into the middle. Clark, the ruckman, chucks it on the right, and it just goes to the right side of the main post, and they pick up a point. Darwin 13.85, Palmerston 9.5.59. 6 minutes gone in the final term.
Palmerston now to bring the ball back into play. McMasters just jogs into play, into the right back pocket, kicks long down the wing. Target was Lockyer Jr., couldn't find him. Tim's in the action. Strong play from William Clark, gets it away to Anderson. Handball away to Thomas Swan. Free kick for a high tackle here against Emery. He pleads his case, but I haven't seen the umpire reverse their free kick ever. And the free kick will go to Timmy Eldridge, who has had a very good second half, I have to say. Kick is long. Poor kick. Matt Dennis should have marked it in the corridor, didn't do so. Turnover. Now Palmerston regain control. Kick out wide, the advantage of Broderick Church. Steps away from Cameron Stokes, then away from the leaping Johnny Anderson. Kicks long. That's a beautiful kick. We'll find Blake Lorna. Who's his target? Keaton Holt-Tubbs is the only forward down there, and he'll find him beautifully. Then he drops the mark. It spills back to him. Kicks on goal and kicks the goal. Much needed, to say the least. But Keaton Holt-Tubbs, he kicks his second. He kicked one in the first quarter, now one in the last. Palmerston, they stay in touch. 10-5-65. Darwin 12-14, 86.
That was the only way the Palmerston Magpies were going to score there, if they were able to kick it over the line and get it out the back, and they were lucky they did there then. And I think Jonas Nicky was heading back towards goal. He just probably had to man up with Keaton Holt-Tubbs, but Holt-Tubbs just smart, just ran the angle, were able to bring it back inboard. But the Buffaloes' defence, that's the price you pay. You press up, and they, for the majority of the time, they're going to hold that football in their forward half. But occasionally, when it does get out the back, you need to make sure that that you're the first one getting back goal side and not getting beaten by your opponent.
So Paul back in the middle for Darwin Buffaloes in the ruck, but it's Dennis, who's been rucking well tonight for Palmerston, that wins it down. Goes out to the outside of the broadcast, but Paul, great follow through, and it's going inside the forward 50. Drop there from Joe Anderson, a mark he should have taken. Palmerston Buffaloes still under pressure here, and a ball has been kicked up and a shot on goal, and it was an outswinger that just saw it go to the right of the post, and the shot there from Aaron Stokes. It was a good effort, a mark that Joe Anderson probably should have taken. He'll be disappointed in that. Darwin 92, leading Palmerston 65.
Lonergan receives the kick in from McDonald.
Sorry, 86. I just keep readjusting the scoreboard.
So Lonergan now brings it again to the Morris Rioli grandstand side. Seems to have been their plan in this quarter. Missed the target. Picked up there by Munungur, who tries to keep it in play but can't. So it'll be a boundary throw-in, half forward favouring the Double Blues. About 75 around from their goal. 9.5 gone in this quarter. 87 plays 65, so a 22-point ball game. Still time if the Magpies are good enough, but an uphill battle for them, I think. Dennis wins that one. Ricky Ashley tries to take possession, now does, caught in a tackle, loses the footy. Williams darts through. Creates good space, kicks to the fat side of the ground in front of Paul. In fact, it's Clark. He takes possession, tackle, loses the footy. No free kick. Ball picked up by Seaton Kurnoff, kicks it up high. Good mark taken, just inside attacking 50. I think that might be Patrick Bowles out wide there. It is. So about 5 metres in from the boundary, right forward pocket. He'll kick from about 48 metres out. And that's an excellent mark by Patrick Bowles under pressure.
Yeah, great work again there by the Buffaloes midfield and forward line to lock that ball into their forward 50 and get a repeat entry there, and great strong hands to stand underneath at Bowles, and tough pocket to kick from here as well.
He's a good player, Patrick Bowles, got good skills. Kick on its way. I've talked him up magnificently. Out of bounds on the full. Thanks, Patrick.
No, Brenton helped you. He said it was a tough pocket. That's how tough it is.
That's how tough
out
it was.
On the full. So the ball we brought back in by the man that's wearing headgear out there, Brawman. Thumping kick 60 metres down the outer side wing, and the ball is, after a contest, taken over the boundary. So Paul is putting his hand up. He's going to be in ruck against Dennis. They're about 65 metres away from the Darwin Buffaloes goal on the scoreboard side. Toss back in. Dennis just lets it go out the back on the ground, tapped it down, but it goes to the advantage of the Darwin Buffaloes. And it is picked off there by Jalen Clark. Running goal on the 50 paint, and it is missed everything by a couple of metres to the right.
Gee, good player, Jalen Clark. Good to see that he appears to have recovered from his hip injury early in the game. Kick in now going towards Sandy Brock. Couldn't get his hands to it. Under pressure again, close to the boundary. And again, a boundary throw-in. Right half forward, favouring the Double Blues. And they're enjoying this at the moment. They're just taking it away from these contests and pumping it forward. Paul wins that, only as far as Brawman for Palmerston. Kicks it close to the boundary line. Cameron Stokes ushers his opponent over the boundary line, and it will be a throw-in over there. Broderick Church it was. He goes back and helps Cameron Stokes up. Two of the old stalwarts, Brenton.
He needed help too.
He did, didn't he?
Well,
He's
suffering a bit there.
Suffering cramp. The leg went straight as soon as he hit the ground. Ball back directly in front of the scoreboard. Dennis up against Paul. Goes over the back, misses them all. Eldridge picks it up for the Darwin Buffaloes. Kick forward and smothered by Bowl. So it's still back in the middle of the wing. No real advantage now until the Darwin Buffaloes have got defensively a lot of work to do. Palmerston kick it inside their 50. On the ground. Darwin Buffaloes trying to jump on it. Nicky's there. And so is Holtz. So is Bradley Stokes, who's on the bottom of the pack. And the ball is given back from Emery to the umpire. Slight advantage left forward pocket for Palmerston. And Dennis wins it down. But over on the back, it's Jalen, who's in hot pursuit of Holtz Tubb. And Holtz Tubb sees the ball over the boundary line, directly on the 50-metre paint. And it is the 50-metre arc for the Palmerston Magpies, who are in much need of a goal. They trail by 22 points here at Marara Oval. 13 minutes gone in the final term. Still inside the forward 50, just sneaks outside. That's the Darwin Buffaloes who aren't able to pick it up cleanly. Brawman does. He gives it off to Ashley. Ashley for Palmerston kicks into the mark. Ball straight up and hit Paul, and Ashley gets it out. He runs through traffic. Kick back in to Dennis. Dennis can't pick it up for the Palmerston Magpies. Cox not able to take it cleanly. Back to Cox. Huge up and under, ugly kick. And it is given to the Palmerston Magpies player, and a snap-on goal from Church. He tried to bend it back with his back, and it is missed as well. So Brenton Toy, Palmerston Magpies, 21-point deficit here, and they are not doing it cleanly in their forward 50.
No, and that's the disappointing thing. It's only 21 points, and if you kick that goal, you're 15 points, and there's 3 kicks in it. You know, there's still 10 minutes of football left. So, I think the sting, for the last 5 minutes come out of it. I was really impressed with how Palmerston come out in the first, 5 minutes of this quarter.
Ball now at centre half forward for the Double Blues, charging in. There was Chester for the Palmerston Magpies. Couldn't pick up the footy. Gordon could. He got away a good handball and then was smashed to the ground. Brawman did exactly the same. Sandy Brock down on all fours. Good pressure being placed on here. Timmy Eldridge has hurt himself. Charging in players from both sides trying to hold the ball up. Liam McDonald's in there. Now tackle late again. Perhaps in the back. Will the umpire call? No, he won't. So they'll ball it up here at left half forward for the Double Blues. Still maintain a lead of 21 points here, 15 and a half through this last quarter. Players getting tired. Ricky Ashley winning the ruck contest, but Jared Stokes coming away from that contest. Good play from Seaton Kunoth, tried to get it away again to Stokes. Coming away though was Dale Cox. Got it to McMasters. Kick long down towards Nigel Lockyer Jr. Couldn't take the mark, but a free kick downfield was given. He kicks inboard, goes to Dale Cox. In fact, he's called it back, has the umpire. And there's going to be a retaking of the free kick by Nigel Lockyer Jr.
Just in back play, Joe Anderson and Gordon having a tussle.
So Matthew Dennis now with ball in hand, having a shot at goal. In fact, he was trying to get it to Kyle Emery. Diving attempt to try and mark it before it went through for a behind. Failed. So another point on the board here for the Palmerston Magpies. Darwin bring it back into play. Another player suffering from cramp. The ball off the hands of Ricky Ashley. Lonergan in there, diving in for the footy. Players getting up and looking a little worse for wear here at right half forward. On that occasion, it was Braden Culhane. First time he's had to enter a contest. He kicked 6 goals in the clear. Ball comes off hands. Caden Holt-Tubbs, the right foot kick. It's going to fall short. No mark can be taken inside 50 for Palmerston. Off hands it comes to Jared Stokes. Swings a left-hand handball inboard. Goes to Nicky. Looking for pace. Out wide. Goes towards Eldridge. Bounces over his head. Timms puts a bit of body pressure on. Eldridge soccers it out wide. He and Munungur out there. Just taps it back intelligently towards Munungur. But a free kick will be paid for a push in the back against Tilmy Eldridge. And he takes that on centre wing.
Wanted to play on quickly, but the umpires brought him back. Wasn't standing the position right. He goes a little chip over to Murungur. Still a couple of metres away from their forward 50. He directs traffic. Goes around onto the left, comes up to centre half forward, and it is a great juggling mark there for the Darwin Buffaloes. And it is Williams, who's already kicked one in this quarter. He'll be 40 metres out, directly in front. He's walked into the centre square. He's going for a huge run up here, still walking backwards. He's got about a 20-metre run up.
I love Ben Brown.
It's huge. Heavily strapped left leg. Can he add to his goal that he picked up already in this fourth quarter? Right foot on the paint of 50. Thumping kick directly in front, and he likes it. Teammates come around, high fives all around, and that could be the nail in the coffin for the Darwin Buffaloes. 13-15-93, Palmerston 10-7-67.
Yeah, great work again there by the Darwin Buffs, and they just continue to edge away. It's just some good work on the outside. It started across half-back. Eldridge was able to get on the outside. Lee Munungur pushed forward. They were able to straighten up, and Williams just stood up in that contest. Big, strong body, stuck his hand up, didn't jump, brought the footy back down, took the mark, took the responsibility, went back and nailed the goal, and probably one of the first nails in the Palmerston coffin with about 7 minutes to go, I'm guessing.
Ball tossed high. David Paul up against Ricky Ashley. Paul wins it down. Tried to get it to Stokes, couldn't get it away cleanly. Went and had a second crack at it. Got it to Williams. Williams' kick was smothered. Good effort there out of the middle from Lorna. Kept pursuing the footy. Unfortunately for Palmerston, it's now at the paint of 50 for the Darwin Buffaloes. Lorna at it again. Caught. Gets the handball away. Gordon juggled it, tossed it to himself, took it back again. Got it to a teammate in Riley Stone. Didn't handle cleanly. Timms goes in, goes back to Stone. Just juggling it around. No clean possession here for Palmerston. They need clean, quick footy. Lee Munungur gathers. Goes towards Baird, I think it might have been. He couldn't take it. At ground level, he goes back in again. The snap on goal for the Double Blues. In close, bowls it is. Good, quick work. He just kept on at the footy. William Baird created the distraction. Bowls the snap on the outside of the right boot. Another nail in the Palmerston coffin. 13, in fact 14-15-99, leading Palmerston 10-7-67, 20 minutes down in the last quarter.
It's just sheer will by the Darwin Buffaloes. They just continue to will the ball forward, just work it, to their favour. And again, I mentioned body language earlier. The whole Buffaloes back line were up the ground. As soon as that goal was kicked, the whole Buffaloes back line were running back to position. So just their body language tells you a lot about how they're feeling about, their fitness and themselves. But they look up and about the Buffs.
Ball back in the middle. Paul for Darwin Buffaloes up against Dennis. Dennis flies high. He wins the tap. Gets a good one to Lockyer Jr. He can't gather it, but now it's going to be the Darwin Buffaloes that get the clearance inside their forward 50 over there in the right forward pocket. Great contest between the players where Darwin Buffaloes is now in the middle and defensively have to do some work. And it's an ugly handball from Joe Anderson. Now coming out from the left, it's James. James on the left, brings it up to full forward. Running back with the flight of the ball was Seaton Curnow. And it is the Palmerston Magpies that will mop it up out of defence. And they go over to the scoreboard side. They go through the middle, the Palmerston Magpies through Lorna. Lorna kicks it down to Lockyer Jr., who has pace over Clark at the moment. Ball still along the ground. Jalen Clark has a favourable bounce. He tries to handball it to himself. He goes to ground. The ball travels to him, comes to his hands, and then now it's the Darwin Buffaloes through Joe Anderson. Oh no, he's not able to take it cleanly. He's being harassed by Dennis, but Joe Anderson puts it on the boot, and it hits the player and his teammate in Aaron Stokes, and the ball goes over the boundary at the halfway mark in. So no real advantage, Dominic, but it is on the scoreboard side, and 21 minutes played here in the final term.
Matt Dennis to go up in the ruck contest against David Paul. Dennis gets a hand to it, down to Lorna. Been a good contributor, Lorna. Kicks long. Nicky underneath that three grabber takes the mark. Well done. Kept his eye on the footy beautifully in this late stage of the game. Now delivers it. Goes nicely to Jared Stokes. He kicks long, unmarked, centre wing. Munungur kicks beautifully. Looking down there for Bowles, can't find him. Now Lonergan. The defensive run, it's a good kick from him, and finds Stone. Looking out wide here for Matthew Chester. Second grab, takes the mark. Emery sitting out here by himself. It's a poor kick. Poor kick. Turnover here. Johnny Anderson takes possession, lopes through centre wing, goes to Jared Stokes, drills a beautiful pass to Joe Anderson, feigns the handball. Matthew Dennis dances around on the mark. Anderson now called to play on. Just chips. Too easy. Just chips beautifully. The lead there of Bowles. We talked earlier about experienced players, and you listen to the names there. Stokes, Anderson, who's now coming off with cramp. Patrick Bowles. Just some good players getting their hands on the footy. Jalen Clark in defence. Now Bowles, left of centre, will kick from about 50. Taking all of his allotted 30 seconds here. We're watching the time clock, of course, here up on the big TV screen at Marara. Not.
Let's go where?
Bowles jogs to 50. Kick on the way. It's fading right and fading fast, and fades a long way right. Another out of bounds on the full. The third out of bounds on the full, I think, in this quarter for the Darwin Buffaloes. So 23 and a half gone. Darwin 14-15, 99. Palmerston 10-7, 67.
And in great tradition in the NTFL, you've got to go and fish for your own ball as well if it goes over the boundary and also the hoarding. So Palmerston now, deep back pocket. They're going to go down the outside wing, and it's going to go into the lap of Stone. Stone's picked up cramp as well, so he's handballing it off to Dennis, but the umpires come over. So a few players well affected here. It's a much hotter day here in Darwin than it was this time last week when it was round one in the opening season. But it is a very warm day, and a lot of players, after they've kicked or have gone on a run, are pulling up with cramp on both sides. Ball out on the outer wing. Head over the ball is Jalen. He's brought to the ground in a good tackle, and a fair one, the umpire says. And there'll be a ball up and directly in front of the scoreboard on the outer wing. Good tackle there by Wharf.
Jalen Clark's had a good quarter, hasn't he, Brenton?
Yeah, he's done really well, and I think it's probably more been Buffaloes, coming back together as a group, and Jalen being able to play as well.
So final siren there. A few players drop to the deck. A couple on their haunches. No real celebrations here from the Darwin Buffaloes because that has been a tough contest. A running game. Darwin Buffaloes 14-15-99 have defeated Palmerston 10-7-67, and it was all the Darwin Buffaloes in the second half after the Magpies led at 1 point at half time, and the Buffaloes have been convincing winners, especially with their second half performance. Brenton?
Yeah, I think Matty Dennis for the Palmerston Magpies tried his heart out all night. Nigel Lockyer was good in patches, but probably not enough. They had a few other players, Liam McDonald, Michaelis McMasters, who were okay. Probably just not enough depth as they got down to their 18th to 22nd player. Just in that last 5 minutes, we really saw the difference in composure, the decision-making and the execution by foot. By Palmerston, turn the football over on the wing. Buffaloes win the football back, go forward, they score a goal. For the Darwin Buffaloes, I just think that they had a great team effort across the ground. I think William Clark battled well in the ruck, undersized all day.
Didn't he?
Yeah, terrific job. Jared Stokes was outstanding, great leadership out there. Braden Colleen, what did he finish with? 6 goals today. He was terrific. Joe Anderson, just strength and leadership out there, was terrific again. But really solid team effort across the board by Buffs, led by a few of their leaders, as you would expect, and a terrific sort of game for them to really grind out. They were challenged in parts throughout the game and really had to respond, and credit to their coaching staff and their players to be able to come back and really grind this game out.
Goal kickers for this match. For the winners, Darwin Buffaloes, Braden Culhane finished with 6. Don't ask him to kick a goal in the second or the last quarters, though. Just the first and the third.
Odds, not the evens.
Yeah, that's it. So 3 goals in the first, 3 goals in the third for a total of 6. He was a real thorn in the side of the Palmerston Magpies. Terrific performance from him for those quarters. 2 goals to Chris Williams, who kicked both of his goals in the last quarter. 2 goals to William Baird. Well done, William Baird. 1 in the fourth and 1 in the first. And then singles to Timothy Eldridge, Cameron Stokes, Patrick Bowles and also Aaron Stokes. For the Palmerston Magpies, 2 goals, in fact 3 goals to Nigel Lockyer Jr., 2 in the first and 1 in the last.